All right, green-black elves. We've got a couple of Collector Ouphes from the new set. We've got some Nurturing Peatlands here. We always played a Cup 1 to 2 Horizon Canopy. Having an on-color Cycle Land is now great. I've jammed 4 Leyline of the Voids into the sideboard for the first time ever because the Hakak deck has been like 25% of the matches we've been playing recently, so I think we'll get good mileage out of Leyline of the Void. If you're not expecting to play against a bunch of Bridgevine, I'd encourage you to continue to play the 3rd Scavenging Ooze and the Surgical Extractions. I think they're better in general, but against the Bridgevine deck specifically, I definitely prefer Leyline of the Void. Croaker, thanks for the half year. Another small change that we've talked about is I've got 2 Boreal Druids and 2 Elves of Deep Shadow. Pretty minimal change. Boreal Druid just doesn't deal damage to us when it makes mana. Frequently, the black mana that Elves of Deep Shadow make is irrelevant. It's just colorless mana that hurts us, so Boreal Druid's another mana dork that doesn't hurt us. I'm not sure when the next time I'm playing a competitive Modern deck is going to, or a competitive Modern tournament is going to be. There was supposed to be one in Bloomington in July, and then they ended up changing the location of that, so I'm not sure if I want to drive 3 hours to play Modern. Orcish Veteran! Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Yeah, Ascian's pretty good. If this dies, the hand gets pretty mediocre, but we get to go Druid into Elite into Archmage here, which is great. It's like riding. It still takes a lot of time. There's a big difference between going 3 hours just like waking up and playing the tournament, right? Like, if I ride along, it guaranteed takes my whole Saturday. Whereas, like, if it's local and I scrub out, I just, like, get to do anything else. Ideally, we'd like to draw a mana dork on one, like a Llanowar Elves or a Boreal Druid or Elves of Deep Shadow. Elvish Mystic. But if we miss on those, we'll lead on the Heritage Druid, obviously. I don't think Infect's a deck is worth playing. If you're looking from a deck from a purely competitive standpoint, I'm not sure it's worth playing. If you love Infect, I'm not 100% certain Scale Up is better than Become Immense. How do I feel about Winding Wave versus Lead the Stampede? I think I very infrequently would want to get lands with that style of effect. And I think because we have Heritage Druid, I'd rather have the one that costs 3 and digs deeper and gets more cards. Yeah, Elves has spare mana, is the TLDR. And, like, if they path me in response to this Dwynen's Elite, I'm, like, a little bit sad, but, like, if they path me there, they then are less likely to have a path for this Archdruid, which is good for me. And this is kind of a great example of why trying to metagame in Modern, even making small changes, tends to just be a bad idea. Like, I cut the 4th Lead the Stampede from my sideboard to add an extra graveyard hate for the Hakak deck, and we might just never play against a graveyard deck in this league. And we've already queued up into a control deck that people love playing for whatever reason, where I really wish I had a 4th Lead the Stampede. The way you beat decks like my opponents while playing Elves is just hoping they don't draw their sweeper. You don't beat their sweepers, you just hope they don't draw them. How did Infect go? It was alright. I'm not super impressed with that archetype in general. Yeah, hope they don't kill them before they play them. That was super mediocre. Have to bottom 2 collected companies here. At least I have another Lead the Stampede. Leylines are for decks that use the graveyard party bus. Do you have Supreme Verdict? When I played this deck at the Nerd Rage tournament, I lost the first round to blue-white control because in games 2 and 3 they cast Supreme Verdict, Baneslayer Angel. I greatly prefer this deck to the Vizier combo deck. I don't know that calling them super similar is a fair assessment, Burgle. Alright, got an Archdruid. That's nice. Some friends here. So I do this. I do this. And go tap, tap, tap. And then I do this. I do this. I do this, going tap, tap, tap. I cast this. Dwynen's Elite kills their Narset. And then we hope they don't have a sweeper. Dear opponent, please don't kill my board. Morning, Pokey. Hope you're having a great Monday. Yep. Not beating a sweeper anyways. Could still have a sweeper. Could be getting a basic planes here. Another Cryptic Command, maybe? So if I attack with everything, and they have a Snapcaster and a Path to Exile, they block this, they path this, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I do want to play this playing this pre-combat sucks in the face of Cryptic Command. But it beats Snapcaster Path to Exile. Although I guess if they had a Snapcaster Mage, would I have expected them... Alright. Yeah, that's fair, Burgle. I think it's right to play the Archdruid out there. Just because I want to beat Snapcaster Path. Although you could argue if they had Snapcaster, they'd Snap Cryptic that turn, so maybe I shouldn't play around that. They put 2 cards in the bottom. That bodes well for the home team. No, they don't need Terminus. They just need a Wrath of God or a Supreme Verdict. And now we're kind of getting to a point where, like, my opponent's low enough on resources and, like, I'm starting to accrue some in my hand that, like, if they hit the verdict, we might have enough left over to, like, build up again. Maybe. Notably there, my opponent bounced their Snapcaster Mage. They're going to get to fog us again this turn. Because this is when I describe Modern as you're always playing against Nexus of Fate, this is one of the only good fair decks in Modern, and it's only good because it gets to sit here and basically cast Fog that draws a card again and again and again. So even the good fair deck in Modern is very, very similar to playing against Nexus of Fate in Standard. They have Remand in their deck? They have multiple Remands in their deck. All right. Are they playing Terminus? Oh, you know what? I should have cast the Clancaller again, probably, right? Doesn't matter, they're dead. Yay! And here, you see, similar to playing against Nexus of Fate, it doesn't really feel very fulfilling to win this game of Magic, because I didn't really make any critical decisions. I just, like, clenched my butt cheeks together and, like, was lucky enough that my opponent never drew their card that mattered. So it feels very unsatisfying, even when I managed to win. Hey, Johnny boy. Thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Mr. Silicone, thank you for the 29. Happy Monday. Everyone's having a great start to their week. I think I just cut the Scavenging Oozes. I'm going to bring in the Lead the Stampedes and the Reclamation Sage, I think. Sounds good. Do I want a Dismember for Lyra? Nah, I think I'd rather just hope they don't draw it or attack around it. The chances of you drawing your 1 of Dismember when they draw their 1 of 2 of Angel is, like, pretty statistically unlikely. So what I got for this Nexus of Fate is a fair deck. Yep, yeah, exactly. Exactly. In my experience playing this matchup, it's pretty close. It pretty much all revolves around how quickly they can find their sweeper. Double Cavern's a good start for us, so let's go. Double Cavern with a Lead the Stampede, all things we're interested in doing. Knitted Soup, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Sweet. So I'd really like to draw another 1-mana elf next turn, so I can go 1-mana elf, second Heritage Druid, make some mana, do stuff. Perfect. Okay, here's a hot take. Whatever the new deck of the week is that everybody's excited about, it is never any... They left Remand in post-board against my 4 Cavern of Souls deck. Alright, that's a decision. Whatever the newfangled deck of the week is, it is never anywhere nearly as broken as Reddit thinks it is. It's never, oh, they're a Monastery Mentor deck. I guess that makes sense. Would this play Symbiote? No, probably not. Symbiote's good in the... Symbiote is good in... That sucks. Well, I was hoping to draw a 1-drop there, and we didn't. Symbiote's only good in Legacy Elves because it, because that's a grindy format, and this isn't a grindy format. Yeah, our leads have been like, and this is a good example of like why leads powerful, honestly. Like our leads in these games have been really mediocre, and they've still been absolutely fine. I wonder if they didn't have a sweeper they were playing to last game. That feels like a real possibility. If they're a Monastery Mentor deck. They could also just be boarding in Mentor. Yeah, like, it's basically been green divination that guarantees draws 2 spells, right? And then the question is, do I want to play this lead into a remand here? I feel like I don't. I think I'm just going to play this forest and pass. And I'm not attacking with this, because on the off chance they have Supreme Verdict next turn, I want 5 green to regenerate a bunch of my board. And like, obviously, if they have Path in the untapped Verdict, I'm sad, but you can only play around certain things. Demon Dactyl, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Forget Freeman, thanks for the 4 months. You heard about this great thing called Prime? I have. It's wonderful. If you're one of the many people out there like Forget Freeman who has Amazon Prime, if you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime included with that for free, and it gets you a free channel subscription every single month to a channel here on Twitch. All right, so if they don't have a counterspell and this Lead the Stampede finds us some more Shamans, we could kill them next turn. Should be sweet. They're on a relatively fast clock here. Hey, Nam, thanks for the 1 hero support. Yeah, I should probably throw Prime Shills in more often, honestly. The number of people that are new on Twitch that don't realize they get that for free is pretty high. So you can hit for at least 7 here. Just 3, deal. Ooh, I'm in love with the Cocoa, chat. My people need me. Lead the Stampede. Brecken Sky, thank you for the very generous sub gifties as always. Happy Monday to you. You are at 12 months, you get a mod sword. We've not seen any Force of Negations yet. In fact, maybe I'm supposed to company in response to that in case they have a Force of Negation, because they're likely playing that card, right? And they left Remands in against us, so I'd imagine they left that card in too. I probably should have companied in response to the Remand there. I think this pauses them figuring out what they're pitching here. Yeah, they force pitch force. Playing against free spells sucks. It always just feels blah. I just want to do my thing. Can I just do my thing, please? Let's see how many cantrips they have this turn. Pretty unlikely to die, but also just like not in a position to really kill them on the backswing. It's funny, something to think about is that Force of Negation is a reason to company on their turn, right? Because they can't play this for free on their turn. They have to tap lands to do it. Nice, Dario. Now, do I think they just had a couple of mentors on the board, or are they a 4x mentor deck? Basically, do I want some number of dismembers? I think I'm going to bring in 2. I feel like they might be a mentor deck with like all their little cantrips that they've played. give this a try. Hey, Base 27. Thank you for re-upping your Prime this way again. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, they had Opt in the first game too. Honestly, maybe I just want all the Dismembers. Maybe I want all the Witch members. Ezuri seems whatever. I probably have an Angel out of the sideboard too. Yeah, let's bring in all the Witch members. This hand's like not amazing, but it's definitely in the range of keepable. This hand probably goes turn 1 Dork, turn 2 Shaman, turn 3 Clancaller, attack for 6. Doesn't seem unreasonable. Do I enjoy Modern and more than Legacy in terms of gameplay? I do not. I think I tend to prefer Legacy overall. The games of Legacy tend to have more micro decisions, and decks that are interested in playing longer games of Magic tend to be much better in Legacy than they are in Modern. The sad reality of Legacy, though, is that most people are priced out of playing it, so it's not a particularly popular content format. There's a lot of people who play Magic that don't like rotating formats, so they're kind of priced into Modern being their only option if they don't have a Pauper scene around them. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm really excited for the new non-rotating format coming up, because I think it's going to likely be very successful very quickly. Because there's a lot of people that are interested in playing something that's not Modern that just can't get into Legacy currently. Boreal Druid not making green mana real awkward here. Can't play both of these. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Clancaller attack for 6 like we originally talked about. When they referenced the new format in an official capacity, they called it Standard Plus, which is kind of a crappy name, so I hope they give it a real name here at some point. If they path the Clancaller or the Shaman here, I get to get another land, which is nice. Still attacking for 4 here. Yep. Ooh, which member? Which member, chat? This one right here. This one right here. Yeah, I'm supposed to do it on their turn, right? Because of Force Negation. I'm actually going to wait for them to cast some spells here. I guess that gives them tokens. Like, I kind of want to encourage them to tap off of 3 mana. Maybe I am just supposed to upkeep it. I don't know, letting them untap lets them remand us, and 4th land means Cryptic Command. Of course, they're also at 6, which means, like, if they tap mana to interact with this Dismember, the Shaman in my hand might just be lethal next turn. They have Dispel, yep. 1 mana elf is lethal. Trigger. Alright, want to know. We had lethal anyways, right? Yeah, I could Shaman and then attack with the squad. Yeah, we had lethal anyways. I could tap these for Shaman and then I get in at least one, right? They were dead to Shaman regardless. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're a new viewer out there, welcome. We stream Magic full-time here on this channel. I'm here to play Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. We focus primarily on constructed Magic, so Modern here on Magic Online and Standard on Magic Arena. So if you enjoy constructed Magic, the channel for you. We play a lot of different decks every day, and we change decks every 90 minutes to 2 hours or so you get a lot of variety. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to my subs. I wouldn't be here day and day without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, you can check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. BCW Supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards when I'm playing in something like the NRG series. Using code JEFF10, you can save 10% on their already fantastic prices at bcwsupplies.com. Cardsphere.com will have help you turn your cards into other cards direct with other players. They also have a completely free-to-use draft simulator on their website that's really awesome. Of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia as well. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate all of y'all spending part of your Monday here with us. Some of the regulars are coming in and asking about the schedule. So as always, you can find my schedule and what formats I plan to play approximately when on my website. I'm going to be doing a little bit of extra Modern every morning this week. So normally we're done with Modern about 9:30 or so on normal stream days. I'm going to be doing Modern till about 11:30 or so every day this week. How much do you think sponsors would pay you if you sold space on a NASCAR-style jacket? I don't know. So, this hand has a lot of good cards in it, but actually the lack of a turn 1 accelerant feels really bad. Our best draw here is definitely a Dwynen's Elite on 2. If we manage to draw Dwynen's Elite on 2, this hand just turns into something absurd, but this hand is definitely keepable as is. My last name is pronounced Hoagland with a long O sound. Dalen, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Simplify. Thank you for the 4-month resub. Thanks for keeping me around. Losing Clancaller here feels real bad. Super hoping to draw one or two drop next turn. Hey, Dwight. Ryan, thanks for re-upping that Prime. Welcome back. Yep, feels bad, man. So, I could deal an extra point of damage with the Pendelhaven this turn, but I would rather play the Blooming Marsh because in the event I draw another Blooming Marsh next turn, I want to be able to play that and then have a 4th untapped land for Collecting Company. So while it's a small chance of that exact sequence happening, the 1 damage is kind of marginal overall, so I think I'd rather hedge drawing another fast land. Tomato Fresco, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Thanks for keeping me around. Cycle Street Wraith, probably a Death Shadow strategy. Yeah, Fearburger, definitely. And this deck has very elegant budget choices to replace the more expensive cards in it. So you can sub Unclaimed Territory for Cavern, and you can sub Overgrown Tomb for the Palaces. And you're still relatively competitive. As is the answer to every good combo deck in Modern, you don't beat it with interaction, Doherty. You beat it with interaction plus a clock. So you beat decks like the Hakag combo deck, Hakag Graveyard deck, whatever you want to call it, the Bridgevine deck, by having something like Leyline, but then also having an incredibly fast way to end the game. Modern is not a format where you can just sit there and spin your tires and like, oh, I cast a Rest in Peace, you're going to lose now. I cast a Tormod's Crypt, you're going to lose now. All the good combo decks in Modern, historically speaking, have always been able to win through pieces of disruption that are not backed up by an incredibly fast clock. Yeah, they have been, Burgle. One of the most important things to remember is that even when there's an incredibly new, busted Modern deck, people are still, this is a format that's Magic as a whole is a game that most people play for fun, and Modern, more than anything in my experience, is a fairly casual format that has mostly players hammering decks that they love playing, not trying to be optimal and chase the best deck. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? While the same decks that top 8 tournaments tend to be from a small, consistent card pool, the overall range of decks that you can play in this format and will play against is huge, because this is a format where everybody just has their pet deck they love playing. You know, I was hoping to draw a land there, but this is actually better than a land, huh? No, Modern's popular because it's a non-rotating format that isn't Pauper and doesn't have the price tag of Legacy. That's why Modern's popular. Double Shaman kills them. So, I actually don't want to Shaman them here because it makes their Death Shadow huge, right? So if I Shaman them, it does 5. Am I dead to Battle Rage regardless, though? Can I beat Battle Rage? I might not be able to. Hey, thanks to the 2 months, Wooey. Maybe it is just Archdruid Shaman to kill them with Shaman the next turn. Can I beat a Battle Rage? HG Lock, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. That's true. They do already have 4 colors. I'm just going to Shaman them. Your move, Yugi boy. Yeah, this makes them have red source plus Battle Rage. Do 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 do. Beep beep do 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 do. Do 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 do. Scale of 1 to dead, what are we working with here? Down to 10, sign me up. Don't cast Toxic Deluge, because I'm calling a judge if you do. I was honestly really surprised that card wasn't in Modern Horizons. I feel like that would have been a fine print into the format. Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay. Do I have a favorite card for Modern Horizons? No, not really. Is it crazy to just click submit here? I'm looking at my sideboard and I'm not really sure that I want anything. If I had an extra Scavenging Ooze, I'd bring it in. But like, Scooze is good here for making their Traverses and Tarmogoyfs worse. Lead the Stampede is fine. Maybe I want a third Lead the Stampede over like a Clancaller or an Ezuri. That's probably not unreasonable. I'm gonna bring in the third Clancaller. Why do I want a Dismember? Their Tarmogoyfs are frequently going to be larger than it, and so are their Death Shadow. Yeah, there's been so much Bridgevine lately, Tiwui. I decided to jam 4 Leylines on the board. Just because it's just the best card to have in that type of matchup. I think I'm just gonna swap a Clancaller for a Lead the Stampede. Yeah, Legacy Eldrazi got 4 mana Karn, which seems really sweet. Listen, if you are someone who doesn't like keeping 1-landers, this is not the deck for you. This hand's actually just, like, pretty close to the stones with the second land. It also got Blast Zone, Robert. Blast Zone is great. I'm sure this Heritage Druid is not long for this world. Yeah, I don't think the matchup's terrible, Wooey. I just we've been seeing enough of it that I just really wanted something to slam the door. Just one of the worst draws in our deck. Oh, my opponent's also missing a second land. Sure. He says as his opponent immediately rips out of it. So you're saying there's a chance. You don't care about things like Goyf and Shadow Pylon. You know how you beat Goyf and Shadow? By killing your opponent. Did you see the last game? The last game is how you beat Death Shadow and Tarmogoyf. I know in a lot of these games we've had black mana, but black mana is not something you always have access to in this deck. In fact, quite frequently you will not. It's just Bridgevine Dwight. It's Bridgevine with the new Hakak card from the new set. Who's got 2 thumbs and concedes to a Liliana. This guy right here. Deal. If they play another Goyf here, we're probably dead. So we're just not going to be able to keep up there. Missed land drops for too long and drew too many 3s. Shadow. Sure. Need to hit running lands here. Alright, it's the first one. Did I just lead the Stampede? I'm actually just going to lead the Stampede. It's the worst lead I've cast in a while. Worst lead we've cast in a while. That was bound to happen, right? We were drawing lands. They're all going to be in the deck. I'm pretty happy how he sideboarded there. I know it felt a little bit bad to die to a Tarmogoyf, but that game was more... I feel like looking at that last game we played and concluding we died to Tarmogoyf as being super results-based and not focusing on everything that occurred in that game of Magic. The fact that our leads have been bad so far really is pretty good for us because it means we're saving up our cumulative variance to be able to have some really good leads later on when we need them. I mean, the fact that they can deck use pretty irrelevant most of the time, Fearburger. 9 times out of 10, the creatures they were putting into play were going to kill you anyways. A couple people have been commenting on some of the card art missing. I decided to crank Moto up to hard mode today for the people watching at home. Too many people were able to recognize the cards based on their artwork and the tiny text boxes, so I decided to throw a monkey wrench in and make you have to try and identify the name and the tiny text as well. As bad as it feels to play this and not get a dude, I definitely just need to start attacking them, I think. Junalesso, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday wherever you're at. Thanks for keeping me around. A brand new tier 1 sub, sorry. Glancing at things quickly is bad. Zandman, thanks for upping that one. Is Twitch Prime. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Just watch on mobile. Can't see anything yet. Just use the mouse over enter. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Wow, it is super rare that a Liliana the Last Hope gets added to the board and doesn't kill anything in this matchup. It's like, well, that's a rarity. That's not the Lord I wanted for Christmas. I think I want to hold on to the Shaman. I think I'm just going to do this and then attack this for 3. Thanks for being here, doing what you do. Can I give my monthly donation to Esper List that just say definitely Sans Serif. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. Finally hit that sweet draw 3. Ideally, our ideal draw was a Lord for the turn so we could kill the Liliana, but it is what it is. You could maybe make the argument that I should play out the Shaman this turn, so I'm more likely to kill this through a removal spell or a blocker next turn. But, like, holding the Shaman for, like, a bigger turn later feels good. Yeah, we played a really awful red and 6 deck earlier today. It was truly horrendous. Well, that bodes well for the home team. Land. Another Dwynen's Elite. All right, well, now we just go super wide, right? I'm going to do this, into these. That's fine. Do I want to keep focusing on this, or do I just pivot and attack them now? Do I just pivot at this point? They haven't played any threats. If I put them to 7, they kill my 1/1. Next turn I go like, Llanowar Elves, Clancaller, attack you for 6, and then like I have Shaman in the pack. Yeah, I think I just pivot to killing them at this point. Yeah, the fetch shock there, I think, means it's time to start attacking them. Sure. Yep. It's Scavenging Ooze time next turn. I think it might be Scavenging Ooze time. That's a tough one. I think it's just Scavenging Ooze time. No blocks. They about to cast a sweeper. This might be sweep the board, down tick Liliana, replay Death Shadow. Oh. Wow, this is a good line. That's sick. I think I lead the Stampede here and just, like, hope to hit a Heritage Druid and a bunch of other stuff. I think I needed more ones than that. It's like I can throw away these Dwynen elites. They have Liliana, the last open play, Burgle. If I'd have hit, what would I have needed to do that? I needed to hit like a bunch of ones. And like even then they could like run back the sack my ranger replay at my next turn. That's like a pretty competitive game considering like we stumbled on mana and like they had double Liliana the last hope, right? Last hope's pretty good against us. I could maybe have been more aggressive. The not playing the second Shaman of the pack out on 4 might have been wrong. It definitely would have, taking that line definitely would have allowed me to, be more aggressive on their last hope, which would have like prevented them from getting so many Death Shadows. So like maybe at that point I could stand to leverage my card advantage from other things. Well, this is how playing Fair Magic goes sometimes. I've kept a kind of slow hand that I'm going to get punished for it because they're playing Tron. Heritage Druid's a good pickup, though. That allows me to go a little bit beep beep fast here. They usually can't sweep my board next turn, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and cast Collected Company, because I could hit Dwynen's Elite and something else this turn to allow me to play the Scooze plus Llanowar Elves as well. Yeah, so I take this plus Clancaller. And then I think I just do this, right? Go. And now if they have, like, removal spell into a sweeper, we could be in trouble. Like, Worm Coil into sweeper. I'm not sure if I can beat the Worm Coil. Another Archmage, Archdruid. So I can cast this. And then these two get another Clancaller. So they block here. And then they take, this is 10, 15, 21. So I can put them to 5 here, which I think is the play. Or 6 if they block Heritage Druid. And then I just hope I don't get swept next turn. So we need to fade. Need to fade Ugin. Now my opponent blocks and gains 6, so it's definitely not lethal, Twitch chat. Oh, if I attack with these, this blocks here. This is 9. This is 9, 17. No, I have 24. They block here. They take 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. Now I just have a 10-minute break. Let's count one more time. If I attack with these, it's 3 more points of damage, which still isn't lethal. It's 9, 17, 21, 24, and they're at 26. So I'd much rather not lose a Lord and get another Lord and put them slightly lower. So I could have dealt 3 more points by attacking with both of these instead of activating, but 3 more points didn't deal lethal. Yep, yeah, the decks that are listed in the stream title are the order in which we plan to play those decks. Maybe they were thinking I could attack with this, but that was Summoning 6. I just played it. Ooh, we get to Collector Ouphe them. That's exciting. This looks good. This looks good. Sign me up. Oh, you know what? I should board in Rec Sage here. I don't think it's gonna let me because Moto's like taking a long time here. But if it lets me on to board it, because a lot of these Tron decks have been playing 4 mana Karn, which means they have Ensnaring Bridge, which makes Reclamation Sage better. So normally not a huge fan of Rec Sage in this matchup, but the fact that more of them are playing to Ensnaring Bridge means that it got a lot better than it was previously. Do I mean the power level of cards is contextual? I do. It's a novel concept, I know. Yep, and there's the 4 mana Karn. Definitely should have brought in the other thing. Ooh. So this means that I don't have to... Means that I don't have to Damping Sphere this turn. Because they're not going to have Tron next turn, which is nice. The person who donated for it, Dude Light, asked that I play it tomorrow. And for large donations, I'm willing to do stuff like that. Occasionally tagging Oblivion Stones is another reason to have Rec Sage in my deck. So what do I want to do here? It honestly might just be Clancaller, attack for 9. I think it's Clancaller, attack for 9. Yeah, it's the type of deck a lot of people wish was good in Modern. It just really never is. Alright, got 4 lethal cards in our deck. So they have to blow this up when we attack, which means I get to go Heritage Druid, vomit my hand. Literally, actually just get to play the entirety of my hand out here. So if we can avoid them going 6 land Wormcoil Engine, we should have them dead. I don't think I'd take Scred Red as a donation deck. It's not really a deck that I consider to be very competitive in the format. It's very similar to the Red-Green Ren deck we just played in that it's just not very interactive or linear. Yeah, we did it! Yay! No, it was this really awkward mid-range Renin 6 deck. We'll probably be on to standard. Even playing 3 decks, we'll probably be on to standard pretty quickly because Elves plays fast, win lose or otherwise. This deck's like the king of like the 55-minute 5-match league. Well, we've only played one Renin 6 deck so far, Equinox. The card was like $40 and impossible to find over the weekend. I think it's probably going to be pretty reasonable inside of the Naya Landfall deck that we'd played previously. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try later this week. We're going to get to 6 more modern decks this week. Which, unless people bump things, and people do bump things, but we've got humans, and then Naya Landfall, that'll probably be tomorrow, depending on what gets moved around today. I mean, the Graveyard deck isn't really new. It's the Bridgevine deck that's existed for a long time with some upgrades. And as frequently happens, as card pools get larger, decks that are interested in being linear and broken and not interactive frequently just get better as they gain more tools. I had someone ask if they could switch out one of their previous nations for Hagak, so the red-green Titan deck in the queue will be getting changed to that. Do you feel the amount of toxic players is higher in Modern, or is it just chat and YouTube? In my experience, people who are heavily invested monetarily in something become more emotionally invested in it because they need to justify to themselves and they feel to others as well that they've spent their money in a good way. So in my experience, players who love formats like Legacy and Modern tend to be more spiteful and hateful towards people who are critical or say things that show those formats in not a good light. Because if someone else doesn't like the thing that they've invested in, they feel like that person doesn't like them. Like they're saying they've made a bad choice by spending their money on these expensive formats. So, yes, in my experience in general, there's more hostility surrounding non-rotating formats. And that's not to say everyone who likes non-rotating formats is like that. But it is to say that in my experience, that happens more frequently in formats like this than with Standard, as someone who's made a variety of content for different formats. Win Spinks, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Have you considered a career in psychology? Negatory. I think that less frequently happens. Based on like the history of formats, fair decks getting much better happens more infrequently. My most! Thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Land. Prof. Dr. Mr. P coming in hot with the 7 months. Welcome back. We're so good at this chat. Hashtag never didn't have it. Hashtag skill game. Hashtag magic is not gambling. I agree, Axe. I think a lot of Magic players like playing fair Magic, and a lot of Magic players also like playing non-rotating formats, and a lot of Magic players are also priced out of playing Legacy. I think all of those things are true. To be fair, I don't think it's fair to say that I'm a stay-at-home dad anymore. My kids have been in daycare / preschool or whatever you want to call it for the last like 15 months now. This is my full-time gig. Once upon a time, this was a part-time thing that I did occasionally while the kids were around. I was definitely a stay-at-home dad then. Ohio MTG, could Benjamin Franklin convince you to play another Modern deck today? It can't, Ohio. For less than a Benjamin, you could slip in another Modern deck tomorrow, but I want to stick pretty stringently to what people can expect in terms of formats when. Zerblin, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The Ren deck we played today was really terrible, as expected. So, I don't have mana up to regenerate here, but if they're going to kill something, they're probably going to kill Ezuri anyways. So, dear opponent, please don't damnation me. Any tips for someone who just started working from home full-time? If you're someone that's doing a desk job from home, a standing desk and a good office chair are things that are definitely worth your money to invest in. Spend your money where you spend your time. And you're going to spend, if you spend a lot of time at the computer, make sure you have good peripherals to make yourself comfortable while doing so. Hey, Coke. Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. Sometimes they want it more than you do. Is that 50 or, I believe, and again, other people donate to bump and change things. I believe the top modern deck after today's stream is going to have 65 points. After today's stream, the top modern deck should have about 65 points. And I'll be playing the top 2 tomorrow morning. Holy guacamole tacos. Thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Who was that? This wouldn't be an issue if you'd stop constantly calling your shots. You're not wrong. At some point, I will learn to use my psychic powers for self-gain instead of self-detriment, but for now, this is where I'm at in life. That's like not a land, but I think it's like one of the few cards I keep on top here. I guess I'm like really sad if they fatal push this elf on one. But yeah, elves is Can we play some of the new, if you're okay with me tweaking some of the details, Mardu Pyromancer's fine, Ohio. I really think the new Kaya's Guile is probably playable. And if it's not, I'd like to play some games to confirm that it's not. I feel like with Unearth, K-Command might be a little redundant. Just gonna go Druid here. Yeah, I'll leave it to Elite. Let's do it. Yeah, maybe over K-Command because you have Unearth. And like I said, it might be bad, but I really want to try it. Apathenon, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, blue-white control is frequently touted as the most reasonable fair deck in the format. I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but it's fine. Nicker, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I hope your Monday is finding you well. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm about to get like Black Forced here, aren't I? Force of whatever it's called. I'm just gonna like destroy all my elves. Not my green people. Who's got 2 thumbs and concedes to a sweeper? This guy right here. Monastery Mentor is not a particularly commonly played card. A couple of Collector Ouphe in the blue-black cycle land. The nice thing about this Abrupt Decay is it implies that my opponent isn't sweeping my board this next turn. Now, that being said, they could have a Damnation on 4, and then everything is bad and sad, but that's just, you know, it's just how things go. All right, I'm not beating a sweeper next turn anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and find another Clancaller here. Whitstone! Thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Survey says, scale of 1 to dead. What are we working with here? Give me a range, opponent. They haven't just windmilled it. That gives me hope. It gives me hope, chat. It gives me great hope. I mean, like, that's, like, not technically a full sweeper, but it's, like, pretty close. Ohio coming in hot with the big tip. For Mardu things, hope you're ready to unearth some Fulminator mages against Strahd. Sounds good. Thank you for the support as always. Yeah, I'm hitting them for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hitting them for 5 next turn with Pendelhaven. So that's like a this hurts, but it's not a we're conceding moment. Most modern decks run Anger, Wrath of God, and Damnation in their sideboard. Listen, there's new rules while we're streaming Modern. I've been more lenient with timeouts about people posting just nonsense that's based on feelings and not facts, but your facts are not feelings. And if you want to make a bold claim like that that's likely hot nonsense, you better try and cite some kind of data source, or you're getting a 10-minute break. I just get Raven's Crime. Yeah, E's also not a full sweeper. E is the most common of all those cards, and it only hits some of it. Talkie Box Man is actually a line item in my household budget right now. God bless. It's just like an entertainment budget, right, Party Bus? Christy and I have one of those. Sometimes they want it more than you, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes your opponent and that's one of the things that makes Modern such a terrible competitive format in the eyes of a lot of people, is that Modern is a format where matchups tend to be very polarized, where regardless of what deck you're playing and how good or bad that deck is, if your opponent really wants to beat your specific deck, there are so many tools for them to have like an 80% matchup against you that you're just gonna get dumpstered. It's just how it goes. So I think this deck's very reasonable, but am I beating the Smallpox Damnation main deck? No, probably not, never in a million years. Modern is very frequently rock, paper, scissors, litter, spock. That is correct. gonna keep this on the draw. It's fine. Not amazing, but I think in the range of keepable. I mean, that's true of, like, every good modern format, T-Wooey. That's not a modern thing. That's just a good game design thing. And, like, if you look at Legacy and Standard, you'll like those formats, too, for the same reason, currently. Aardvarks! Thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. And I mean, honestly, playing a format like Modern online is so much more enjoyable than playing it in paper. Because in paper, when you hit your impossible matchup that beats you in 5 to 10 minutes, you just have to, like, sit there and twiddle your thumbs and wait for the next round to queue. At least when we're playing online, we can just shake it off and, like, move on to the next match right away, right? It's like, all right, they wanted it more than we did. We died. It sucks, but let's, like, play another match of Magic and, like, try again next time. Whereas, like, you have to wait a long time to try again. I'm glad my LGS has beer on top. Drinking while you play Modern sounds like a fantastic plan. Take the edge off. I frequently zoom in on cards while I'm playing because there are a number of people at home that don't have every card in Modern memorized. So I like to zoom in on new cards when they enter the battlefield for the first time so people at home can have a better idea of what's going on in the match that we're playing. So here's the thing, Dumping Truck. When I talk about decks having 80-20 matchups, I'm not talking about decks that are specifically I'm not talking about decks that are specifically designed just to hate on yours. I'm just saying that, like, there are decks that are just generically good in the format that, like, also happen to dumpster whatever you're playing. So it's not like someone showed up and said, the only thing I want to beat is elves. I'm saying their deck is just generically linear and powerful and also happens to play main deck Anger of the Gods, so it's incidentally good against what we're doing. So I agree with you that playing incredibly narrow decks is not a good plan, especially in Modern or Magic in general. But people, it's not really what's happening when I say there's super lopsided matchups. Well, and so, like, part of the reason why it feels like you're so much more likely to hit a bad matchup online than in paper is because the volume of games you're playing is just higher online. So, like, when you pack this high number of games into this really tiny time space, it feels like you're more likely, anecdotally, it feels like you're more likely to have this outcome happen. I'm going to attack with these. They'll block Dwynen's Elite. They'll fetch this. They'll crack a clue. I mean, I don't, for the record, I don't mind Modern. If I really didn't like Modern, I wouldn't play it. Like, even right now, when Standard's at the arguably lowest point in the cycle for Standard, like, Standard's still more popular than Modern. Variety is the spice of life, and I do enjoy playing a variety of different decks and strategies in a variety of formats. Now, when we get a new format in the fall, I'll probably be playing a good bit less Modern because we'll be able to get all of that variety on Arena. But for the time being, I do not mind playing the amount of Modern that I play. We're so good at this. Nothing but professionalism on this stream. And like, look, this was a good example, right? Like, my opponent cast a removal spell and an Anger of the Gods and we won this game. Like, you don't always lose to sweepers in this deck. It's just like, sometimes you can't beat them. But there are games like this where you like have the Collected Company or you have the Lead the Stampede to rebuild afterwards, and it's fine. I'll bring in a Dismember to clear out a blocker, I think. Nah, Scavenging Ooze is probably better. It's pretty marginal either way. Yeah, I agree, Axe. I really hope that the new format in the fall starts with Shadows, even if it means my checkbook is going to be a lot more sad. Because, like, if they back include 6 sets, I'm going to have to buy 6 sets worth of cards on Arena. But at the same time, it would give us so many more sweet things to brew with that I really want it to happen. Nope. I pretty much just focus on the formats in Magic that have kind of competitive followings. While my specific focus isn't as being as competitive as possible, I like working with brews and ideas inside of things that could be competitive settings. It's like things like EDH don't really tickle my fancy. The formats I play on stream are pretty much the formats that I play. Game's a little slow here. I want to watch you open all those packs. Yep. Yep. Alright, Nurturing Peatland's not doing us any favors here so far. Hey, Spoony Mangoes, thank you for re-upping your Twitch Prime this way. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Huntmaster of the Fells. It's a little scary. I guess Elvish Clancaller protects from the flip, which is nice. This makes 4 mana. So we're definitely playing a Clancaller. And the question is, do I play another Clancaller or do I play a Shaman of the Pack? Shaman of the Pack's more resource efficient. I'm also kind of choked on black, but it potentially does less damage. That being said, they're going to kill one of my things with Huntmaster next turn. This is a better blocker on the board, though. I think I want the better blocker here. Morning Inner. What was the deciding factor? So, the glasses, similar to the software filter, have prevented the stress headaches I would get with some frequency from using the screen from long points of time. But if you've never used a software filter for blue light before, it filters literally by adjusting the colors on your screen. So like being able to like actually use the computer and the colors that they're intended to be seen in is really nice. So this is gonna deal. They're gonna get 2 lightning bolts here. I guess I guess if I would have played Clancaller, it would have played around them being able to kill my Archdruid. No, I guess they still would have killed my Archdruid, right? Yep. I feel like we hit a pretty bad range of matchups there today. We ran a little bit medium. And hey, look at that. We lost a bunch in Modern this morning, and it only cost me $20. Lost $10, $5, $5. I don't know. I think the changes we made to this deck are fine. Like, the Nurturing Peatlands are obviously good. Like, we were playing Horizon Canopy before, so having an on-color Canopy is great. The Leylines were maybe stupid. Like, and it's such a good, clean example of why you shouldn't make knee-jerk changes in Modern. Like, Edelweiss and Rutto, thank you for the resubs. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Like, I adjusted the Leyline of the Voids because there's been a lot of graveyard decks, and then we played against 0 graveyard decks in this league, and we played against 3 decks that had a bunch of main deck sweepers where you really want the Lead the Stampede, so probably cutting the last Lead the Stampede was silly and an overreaction to, like, the hype surrounding the Bridgevine deck. Elves is great. I think I updated a list on my site with these and these. I don't think I'm going to put Leylines in the list on my site, but Peatlands and Ouphes are definitely great. All right, let's roll on into some standard. If you're a fan of Modern and non-rotating formats, again, I'm going to be doing Modern until about 11:30 every day this week. So tomorrow, or through Thursday this week, I'm taking Friday off. Do you have a special prescription, Proto? Because they do offer prescription lenses. You just need to upload your, I think it's called an RX file or something like that from your eye doctor, whatever the prescription is called. I don't know the technical term for it, but they do offer prescription glasses with the blue light filtering technology. Civil Penguin, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Video games. No, it would be, if it's not on the website, Wooey, it's not updated. That would be where it is. I'm making it to do that. Update elves. I feel like I should probably just go update all of. Should probably just go update all of the decks on the website. Just like add miscellaneous Horizon lands to them, because there's a lot of decks in Modern that want that style of effect in some quantity. I love that Arena is advertising a set that isn't in Arena. Thoughts? I mean, like, trying to convince your Arena players to play Magic Online is probably a recipe for making some people sad. There's a sideboard guide linked on the website, Tiwui. It's not the exact list, but it is close-ish. And again, that's why I don't like writing sideboard guides, because as soon as I change 3 cards, people are like, oh no, I need a new sideboard guide. Jeff, please help me. Sideboard guides are very, very... The shelf life on them is not good in terms of content shelf life. Magic Sausage Cat, thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. And Amigro, thank you for the 2 months. Listen, I have your end all be all for sideboard guides. Cut the bad cards and bring in the good ones.